CNBC TV 18 Weekender.
Hello and welcome to CNBC TV 18 Weekender. This weekend we've travelled to Sonipat, 1.5 hours away from New Delhi. I'm at the Ashoka University. It's founded by Ashish Dhawan. Ashish Dhawan was the founder of Chris Capital. He made serious money as a fund manager. He was considered to be an ace fund manager, but he decided to walk away from all of that and focus on his second career, that's education and philanthropy. Let's find out more. Hi Ashish.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting me to Ashoka University.
Pleasure.
Hi guys, I'm going to steal in for a bit. I hope you don't mind. Okay, thanks. Thanks Ashish for joining us here on the Weekender and inviting us here to your 25-acre campus. You want to tell me a little bit about Ashoka University, why you like coming here on the weekend?
You know, Ashoka is a brand new liberal arts university, and we set it up really because we felt that the pendulum had swung too far in the direction of professional degrees. Everybody wants to study engineering or management or law or medicine. And so we're missing out on a holistic education in India. So really the idea was to set up a different model for India where students would get both breadth and depth with a focus on the humanities, social sciences and natural sciences.
So, you know, like you said, most people want to study engineering or law, etc. So, you know, do you have a plethora of applications? Do you have a cutoff? How does it work?
Yeah. So we had to, the first year, we had to concept sell the idea because most parents say, well, the default option is engineering.
Yeah.
So we had to go into, but the good thing is I think it resonated with students and parents because many of them were frustrated with the sort of linear model where you had no choice and no flexibility. And now as we've entered our we're finishing our second year and entering our third, there's been an upsurge in demand.
Oh, there has?
Yes.
Do you have a cutoff?
We don't have a traditional cutoff because we believe in evaluating students holistically. So we look at academics, but we also look at extracurricular. We interview students and we look at intellectual curiosity, and then we make them write an on-the-spot essay. And we grade all four.
On the spot?
We look at a composite score. So someone may have done, you know, someone may be 2 or 3 percentage points lower on board exam results, but may have read 50 books in the year and may have a very interesting conversation during an interview. Well, they would potentially get in versus the person who scored.
So who's designed the curriculum?
The faculty. So we started out by pulling in faculty from around the world, particularly from liberal arts universities in the US, because the model is most evolved there. Many of these were people of Indian origin, although some were not, they were foreigners. And the founding faculty essentially came together and brainstormed. I think the only criteria we laid out as a board was we wanted breadth and depth. So every student, regardless of what they study, mathematics or history, have to have studied a broad curriculum. So we have a core curriculum, which is a series of foundation courses, 12 of them, that every student takes here. So even if you're studying mathematics, you have to read philosophy. So that when you sort of go out in the world, even if you're a math major, you really understand the way a historian thinks or the way a political scientist thinks. And we think that that interdisciplinary thinking is extremely valuable if you're going to be a leader in the 21st century.
And going forward, like what's your aim, to be like the Dartmouth of India? I'm not talking about Ivy League, but just that, you know, Dartmouth is synonymous with liberal arts, for example. Is that your aim?
Yes, I think so. I went to Yale undergrad, so the aspiration is to be something like that, to be, you know, Ivy League quality for sure, and to provide that broad, well-rounded education.
But you know, for all of that to happen, like you said, you went to Yale. I would imagine that Yale students would get lapped up when they're about to get graduated. When they graduate, does that happen here? What are the job placements like?
Yeah, so we still haven't had an undergraduate class that's graduated, but our belief is the same will happen. Because if students are bright and they get a great education and they're intellectually curious, employers are going to see that. And they're not going to care whether the person studied history or philosophy or economic. We have students who've done film studies or at the undergrad level and then done this 1-year liberal arts program, and they're getting lapped up by employers. Our average salary, corporate salary, coming out of that 1-year liberal arts program last year was 11.5 lakh rupees.
Okay.
So that just demonstrates, and we have about 80 recruiters coming on campus to recruit from that batch of 200.
Yeah.
Where only about 130 or so would go into the corporate sector.
Correct.
Actually, if you do an MBA, which is a 2-year degree, you come out, and if you go to the IIMs, you make, of course, 19 lakhs. But if you go to almost any other master's program, you'd make much less. If you did just a master's in economics or a master's in history or political science, much, much less. We are not a professional school. So we're not looking to churn out people like an MBA school will for just the corporate world. We are wanting to give them a great education that will not just help them make a living, but also, make a life. And some of our students, by the way, have gone on to great business schools. We've had students out of that 1-year program go on to Harvard Business School, Stanford Business School, Wharton. So they have the option.
Besides this, you also have a school in Delhi, in Lajpat Nagar, which is for younger children. Tell me about that.
No, so actually don't have a school for younger children. We run a foundation called Central Square Foundation, where we fund a variety of different organizations. Not necessarily schools, we do fund some schools, but we also we do a lot of principal training. We're developing courses for teacher training. We're looking at a whole variety of issues. So we're funding, we're doing research and advocacy to help improve school education in India, particularly for the bottom half of the socioeconomic pyramid.
So how big is your fund? Is this something that you yourself have put together?
The school education one? Yes. So we are about 23 staff members today. We work out of Delhi, and we work primarily in 5 or 6 states in India, and we've funded about 25 different organizations so far, all of which are non-profits in this sector. And
I'm assuming you'd want to do more of that?
Yes, we're looking to do more of that, for sure. So every year we make an additional sort of 7 to 10 grants on an annual basis, new grants, apart from the supporting many of the existing ones as well.
So how big is this fund?
So we right now have about 30 crore in commitments that we've made. We're right now making grants of about 10 plus crore per year. And that is slowly increasing over time. We started very, very small, and we're growing it as we get to know these organizations.
So you're still a fund manager, but a different kind of a fund manager?
Yeah, in a sense, because we are cultivating, we're finding these social entrepreneurs, working with them. And in a sense, one of the things we found in the education space is you need new ideas, new concepts, innovative stuff. And so we wanted to start some new things, but we also support some existing organizations. But that's one part of it. We also do research and advocacy, which is very different from my fund management world in a sense. Okay,
so I'm going to take that conversation forward after a short commercial break. Guys, stay with us. You're watching The Weekender here on CNBC TV 18. So Ashish, do you miss your banking days?
I did initially when I 4 years ago, when I first made the transition. But, within 6 months I was already very passionate about education. As I got into the thick of it, the issues, the reading, meeting people, no, I didn't miss it that much.
CNBC TV 18 Weekender.